Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP, episode 561. We are live tonight. It is Thursday, January 4th. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Peter.
Pervidestron.
And Rob.
Nuh-uh.
And random Skype box. Hi, random Skype box.
Hey!
Is your video intentionally off there, Phil, or are you just like, screw it? If I turn my video off, I can't freeze?
No, hopefully. Can you see me now, Lucas?
No.
No. God bless us all to hell.
Phil was already freezing, like, literally before the show. So, yeah.
How about now?
Now
you're back for the moment.
Yeah. You know, I think that this is what you should do, Phil. Put, like, a really dumb image of you, right? Like, like, instead of doing video, just do, like, a video to make it look like you're frozen. And just have that as your image, and then just stop broadcasting video.
Or make a GIF of yourself just going like this, and just loop it, and just that's it.
Just do it like speed style.
I don't
Can
remember.
you guys see
that.
me? Like, yeah, just randomly put that in there.
They loop the video. They realize Dennis Hopper is watching them through a closed circuit camera, so they loop a video so that he thinks they're still on the bus.
Spoiler. I wonder if that was the first movie to use that trick, and that's where it became popular. If it was already a trope.
That's one of the first times I recall it.
Actually, I've been rereading the Ninja Turtle comics, and in I think issue 4, they're breaking into the TCRI building, and there's cameras on the top, and so Don takes a picture. Oh wait, no, he puts a bird in front of it. That's what it is, so they can sneak in. Never mind. He doesn't do the picture trick. So yeah. So maybe.
There you go.
What are you gonna do?
So,
Hi,
Phil,
Peter.
you were saying that you have an addendum to your worst figure
I do.
of the year.
I do. My boys got some money for Christmas, so we went out shopping last week. So technically, this was purchased, I think, New Year's Eve. So it's still counted for 2023. It is I forget what they call it, but it's the Optimus Primal that combines with Skull Cruncher, where Skull Cruncher like folds down and becomes his armor. That Skull Cruncher armor will not stay folded down to save its life. If you breathe on it the wrong way, it flops back up into this little crocodile mode thing. It is god awful.
I mean, in theory, it sounds like that would be a fun figure, right, for kids, right? Like,
Yeah.
Skull Cruncher and Primal, but yeah, who would have thought? Those combiner figures are crap.
Well, like the lousy thing about it is my older son has the Cyberverse Cheetor that has the same gimmick. It was like a battleship that folded around Cheetor to make an armor, and that stays put. It locks in place. This new one just has two little tabs that, if it gets unaligned from those tabs, which is very easy to do, it flops back together. It's definitely upsetting.
Is the price point the same? Because I swear I remember that Cheetor battleship thing was kind of expensive. Like, I swear it was like $25-$30 or something.
They were like $25-$30 when they were new, but then they all went on clearance for like $8. So
Well, right,
yeah,
right. So
that means in 3 years they'll be $50-$70 on eBay for some reason for that trash.
yes.
Yeah. And then this was $20. So I mean, with inflation, it's a slightly cheaper toy. Especially, it was a cheaper toy, and then you add inflation, it becomes an even cheaper toy. But it just feels so much less of a toy and is disappointing. And so it's just an interesting idea, a cool play pattern idea. My sons like the Cheetor one that does that, but that's just folds up into this floppy mess of a thing.
Has it turned them off Transformers forever? Are they just like,
oh no, today
done with this brand now?
No, today he's still just like, go get me a guy from downstairs. Go get me a guy from downstairs. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, because you have all the cool ones that are expensive.
It's true. I do. Not all the cool ones, but a lot of the cool ones.
Yeah.
So.
Let me know when he transforms Masterpiece Springer back there. I don't know which one you got, but
that's a Apache, Fans Toy Apache.
Oof.
Oh yeah. Let me know how that goes.
That one was fun. It's intuitive. It flows pretty freely. I had no issues with it. Apache is a wonderful figure.
No,
really?
I for a Fans Toy Apache is pretty not too crazy.
It's not Blur.
It's not.
Their movie
what about Blur?
Like all their movie stuff is like the worst. It's whoever they had designed that stuff. So it's good to hear that Springer wasn't bad. I went with X-Transbox, so I waited for like 8 years. But
yeah. But we were playing with Siege Earthrise, not Earthrise, Siege Springer today, and so that one for a Generations toy that's a doozy right there. So it's cool engineering, but it's not always the most intuitive with him.
Right.
You want to talk about intuitive toys? I just got in something yesterday. It's here behind me. It's the DX9 Capone, their Motormaster with the really dumb ultra long trailer. Like, it looks bad. It looks stupid. It does. But like putting this into bot mode was awesome. Mm-hmm. This was like super simple. I mean, like there's a bunch of little parts of it, but like none of it's annoying or tedious. And like, compared to the X-Transbots trailer, which is like the worst thing I've ever had since like Fans Project's Minosaur, Fans Project. I was just blown away by how good a Transformer this is. And it makes me miss DX9 because I think they always had like some really great engineering. But
well, that's what I was going to say about DX9.
It just came out. This reissue did.
The reissue did, yeah. I picked it up. I picked up Capone in 2020 during the height of the lockdowns and all that fun stuff. So I was on campus, the only person on campus, and I was literally driving my extra long truck guy around in the break room and down the hallway like, burp, burp, I'm king of the road. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were posting a lot on your social media then of all your little Deskbot friends. And the Stunticons were very much a part of that, I recall.
Not so little Deskbot friends.
Not so little.
Yeah.
These dudes are huge.
Yeah.
But that was one thing I was going to say about DX9 is I feel like their engineering is always really cool. But the actual robots themselves, like the fit and finish of them are like not quite masterpiece level, I guess you would say. So like it doesn't quite fit in with the other Masterpiece stuff.
It requires squinting in a different way, right?
I would disagree. Yeah.
Like, I think it works well enough, but like, I mean, I think there's a difference between the finish on it and like versus Fans Toys or even X-Transbots these days. They're a lot more plasticky and less die-cast than you might find in those other ones. I think and maybe a little less paint. But
I mean, I feel like it's kind of like Fans Hobby a little bit, where it's like not quite there. Like you're like they prioritize the engineering. What's that?
They feel like really nice chug figures. Like they're made for the bigger scale, but again, the lack of die casting, especially Fans Hobby, really doesn't do much paint. Like they'll do accent and details, but they won't paint a whole figure. I don't think I've ever seen that from them. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do.
Yeah, I was even messing around with their new Overload the other day, and even that is a lot of colored plastic versus painted plastic.
But they make great stuff. They make good durable toys, but And I think that's the trade-off for them.
I
Yeah.
thought I heard DX9, and I could be completely like making this up, but I thought I heard that they're actually New Age. Like the designers that were DX9 were New Age. Am I making this up?
Lucas, why are you making that up?
I have not heard or not heard that. So
I thought I heard someone that's
It makes
like essentially they didn't go away. It was like they shifted over to Legends, and that's the reason why. But like I could be just completely making that up and misremembering from something someone said.
Well,
I don't know.
Capone came out like 6 years ago, and that's not the focus of today's episode. Today's episode is
No?
looking forward to the present and the immediate future. So 2024, we are here, and we are.
Oh, okay.
And I would like to know, gang, what it is in the world of the Transformers that you were looking forward to on this, the 40th anniversary year of the brand.
I'm looking forward to seeing my friend Peter in a couple weeks.
Ooh.
So
And we're going to
That'd
talk about GoBots.
yeah, I picked up some GoBots for
Nerds.
Peter in Ohio.
And thank you for that. Yeah. Like,
Wait,
Wait,
Anytime.
hold
surprised the hell
on.
out of
There's
me. It's great.
GoBots that you don't have, Peter? Like I just assumed you had everything.
I don't have everything that I want in the conditions that I need.
Oh,
Um,
got it.
and there are things floating around that while they might be expensive on eBay or Yahoo or wherever, they might be hiding in a shop somewhere for a fifth of the price.
Really, they were that much cheaper?
Yeah. So yoink.
They were boxed toys.
Yeah,
Just to be clear, like that's what made them, special. Did you figure out what that little piece was?
It's just part of the alt mode winch.
Okay.
So yeah. But enough about robots from 1985 in that case.
We're going the wrong direction
We're
here.
going the wrong direction.
Yeah,
We got to
yeah,
go back
we're
to
keep going
2024.
further back. So
All right, so I bought some Shogun Warriors, some big jumbo Machinders the other day, and they've got the rocket punch.
Wasn't 2023 the 40th anniversary of GoBots?
Yes. Well, 2022 was Machine Robo with
Okay.
Popey, but yeah. Anyway, Transformers,
good thing that we
1984.
had a big celebration for that.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think that we're gonna have as a celebration for the 40th anniversary for Transformers?
Reissue of MPO1.
That figure was released on the 20th anniversary of Transformers, and it's
Oh my God, it
the
was.
ads for it have been making the rounds on social media. Like, hey, remember this? Remember how dumb we were spending $100 on a masterpiece in 2004? And I remember how dumb I was. The thing is sitting out upstairs. I love that thing. I carried it around
Thing's
like
great.
I carried it around like a baby doll under my arm, much to my first ex-wife's chagrin for months. Just I would buckle it in and no, don't talk to him like that. Don't look at him like that. You know.
It was the best, not just Transformer, the best toy that had been made like up to that point when that came out.
It was the exact one I had as a kid.
Oh my God.
Well, we got up to 2004, 2005, or whatever. We came a little or 2004. We got a little closer.
We're getting
We're
closer.
working back.
Oh yeah, we're getting there.
I could see reissues of different convoy stuff, whether it's MP01 or MP44.
Well, we have the missing link coming, right?
The missing link that's dropping this month.
Really?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm
The
actually
pre-orders.
excited for that really dumb thing. I think it's so stupid.
I pre-ordered both versions of the Optimus, and I don't know if we ever got confirmation. I know the pre-orders haven't dropped, but I think the Megatron was fake. It was a Photoshop. I don't know. I didn't hear anything otherwise, and no pre-orders dropped, so I'm not sure. And that's been months and months now, so I'm forced to assume until proven otherwise that we were had. I was excited about that one too. Give it to me. But pairing those with the movie 86 whatever retro G1 Walmart things, if they're going to keep coming out with those, would be a lot of fun to have because we had to stretch our imaginations as kids to make the toys do what the cartoon did, and this brings you one step closer. I don't know. We have a lot cooler toys engineering wise modern days now, I guess, but there's something about that old mold flavor with a little bit extra.
I think it's like, I have a pretty good G1 collection, but I never fiddle with them. Like on the one hand, I'm like, oh man, I'm just waiting for that plastic's gonna break. It's because it's also old and brittle, right? But even beyond that, there's just not a lot to them, right? Like they're great to look at, but there's not a whole lot of play there when we're used to the things we're used to today, right? It's like, oh, that's a baby's toy, So this is a way for us to re-enjoy that old stuff in a new way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of fun,
Yep. Social media account that
we were getting Blaster and Steeljaw and Soundwave and there's a Buzzsaw or Laserbeak that he comes with for a 40th anniversary little packs there. So
in the US, he normally comes with Buzzsaw.
Yeah.
But as far as like in Japan, he came with Rumble.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But there's not. I'm surprised that there hasn't been more teased out. I get that last year was not the 40th anniversary and this year is, but this given the time lag between pre-orders and actually toys in hand,
right?
Stuff that we'll get as pre-orders now will maybe we get them during the summer unless they're changing their schedules. So who knows? I mean, with the layoffs that Hasbro just had, this might be like, oh yeah, that's something that you let go of the team members who are working on those projects.
And now we're just going to get a flyer in the instruction booklet that says, "Don't forget, it's been 40 years. Thanks.
Yeah,
thanks for all the money."
Maybe there'll be a sticker on the back.
Sticker? Oh, maybe we could have a sticker, different stickers per region, so some people can go crazy collecting the same packaging, of course, but yeah.
I like Peter's idea, but the piece of paper it's on is the one that's got all the safety notices in the different languages that always just frustrates me.
But the Pac-Man eating the block and all the little pictures.
Yeah, exactly. So
I do know we've got Studio Series 86 Megatron is going to be revealed soon. So is Studio Series 86 Optimus.
What is that Megatron supposed to be?
That's a big question.
Okay.
Is
I missed
that? You can't do this
a listing.
It's from a listing
okay.
like a while ago. It can't be a pew pew because people will cry. So we assume it's going to be a tank. I don't know. I'm open to whatever they want to do.
It's 86.
I wouldn't mind.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be a fucking repaint of that Siege mold again.
Oh, I hope so.
That's what it's going to be.
I hope so.
A slight retool, maybe a new head.
They're trying to get more use out of that mold than they have like the classic Seeker mold. Like they're trying to break some new ground here.
Yeah.
So.
Or Combiner Wars Silverbolt.
Did you know that DX9 Breakdown here is actually Combiner Wars Silverbolt? It's true.
Yeah. Soulcraft said that he's most excited for that Commander Optimus. I think that's a big question for Commander Optimus is it going to be a completely new mold? Are they going to, do... I would think that they probably are going to make a new mold because, that thing's going to sell like hotcakes.
It's going to sell like hotcakes, and they're going to reissue it 3 or 4 times in three different boxes. There's going to be a movie version. There's going to be the 40th anniversary version. There's going to be San Diego version, and you have to buy all of them to get all the right paint apps for all of the things that you want to put them all together.
Like
Rob is waving.
Version.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? What is this?
There's a commander. Okay, so the next commander class I think is the next one, right? Is supposed to be Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime.
Oh, is that what the size class they've been doing the Dinobots in?
No, it's the Ultra Magnus. It's
Ultra Magnus.
Yeah,
okay.
Ultra Magnus or Jetfire, Rodimus Prime.
Gotcha. So like that $80 price point or
so? $80. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so for the Earthrise mold, they never painted it right, not once. So, and if you wanted the correct trailer, the correct color trailer, like the cartoon color trailer versus the toy color trailer, you had to buy the Volvo or the whatever and pair it all up. And you had to buy 2 or 3 different things. You had to buy the Netflix cab with the Volvo trailer with something, Earthrise, something else to put it all together to make.
Kits.
do a few kits to make it's still not quite right Optimus Prime. And by then you've spent $300. So what they want you to do now is do a commander class 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
Have they shown images of what this toy is, or
No, it's just been a leaked listing.
another listing?
Yeah. Again, the only thing that's like 40th anniversary, either specifically labeled or tangent, is the missing link and the blaster and Soundwave.
Right.
They're not going to give us
and
a
then
feeling.
they also have the Wheeljack that they just.
Well, is that 40th anniversary branded, or is that just?
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah, that is an official reveal too. So that's not just leaked. That is, they officially revealed it at that Asian toy show.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that. You'll always get me for that episode 1 nonsense.
Yeah. Like they did a thing on their social media the other day with all the transformations of the Cybertronian modes from that episode, including Soundwave. So who knows if we'll get that at some point. I don't want the light post Soundwave, but if it comes with a, animation specific Cybertronian Laserbeak, I'm in for that. That's one of my favorite designs. Is that Cybertronian Laserbeak is sweet.
Well, the Siege one turned into a light post already. I mean, whatever. I guess you can turn anything into a light post, right?
Yeah.
All of his toys can do of some approximation of the light post.
Yeah. I mean, I can make this Batman toy a light post. I mean, there we go. There, he's a light post now.
Yeah, I think if they wanted to do that, I mean, you could make him have a light post form, but then also fold his rectangles a different way, and now he's a spaceship. Ta-da! Everything can always be a spaceship.
Well, again, this kind of comes back to the point that we've already had, which is, will we actually get new molds for this stuff, or will they reuse stuff? Because you can take that Earthrise Soundwave and give them the lamppost mode, or maybe you take the Netflix Soundwave and make that a lamppost mode, and there you go. So I don't know.
Well, they've gotten they've started doing pretty good stuff with like partials, like where they reuse engineering, but like the molds are different. So I mean, you could see some of that too.
Yeah. Like it's got the same sort of skeletal structure, but different, like outside to it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I wonder. Like, I don't have it, so I can't comment on it. But is there a way, Lucas, you could turn Commander Ultra Magnus into an Optimus Prime? Because they have the same cab. Now I get that the cab in Ultra Magnus Commander doesn't detach, but to me it just feels like, well, if they're sharing the same cab, is there some way they could do it?
I mean, the Commander Ultra Magnus is pretty close to the Masterpiece. So, like, as far as like the engineering on it, so like, I mean, if you just imagine
continuing that trend.
Yeah.
So no, it doesn't
not really.
work as a.
Not really.
Just wondering.
So.
Just to have two commander classes that have a flat fronted semi truck, just seems very coincidental if they would share no engineering or parts or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. The truck's pretty much just a bunch of panels, so just fold it up. But I don't know. It's a good toy though, Phil. You should get it.
I will. I don't know. It was on sale, and then I wanted to pay a little bit less, and now it's not really in stock. So I don't know. I'll get it at some point.
Same thing happened to me on Armada Megatron. He was on sale for Christmas, and then now he's kind of sold out, and I kind of want to find him for a deal, but
it's like you're interested in him, just not full price interested.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the the Titan Nemesis as well.
Yeah.
It's cool to have that as a spaceship. I felt the same thing about the Ark, but on both, but I don't have either because I don't think the robot modes are bad. I think they are very not good. The idea is not the worst or anything necessarily, but I just,
I mean, I
feel flat.
Sorry.
when I saw Nemesis in hand at TFcon, I was pleasantly surprised at how cool that looked.
I feel like that they took a lot of the complaints from the Arc and like actually did stuff with it. I mean, because that's the thing, the Arc doesn't do enough. You know, it's just like the big ship, but there's no features, like the cannons don't rotate, like, you know, stuff just, I don't know, it's just kind of there. Whereas it seems like they kind of learned from that a little bit with it. So,
but it's funny with Arc, because what does do a lot is mainframe. He comes with the golden discs. He comes with the Teletran 1 satellite thing that comes out. So it was like they took sort of all of the play value of the Arc and shoved it in the mainframe. And so
I shoved it into the wrong color mainframe, and I shaved all that stuff off and then painted it like mainframe.
Where's our mainframe repaint already? Come on.
As soon as wait for me to get to 80% on my custom. Once I hit 80%, it'll get released, and all will be right with the world.
Seems legit.
Yeah, it's fair.
Hey, you want to be on and talk about Transformers and what you want for the next year?
Peter is addressing someone off screen. I would assume a short person.
He's not short. He's as tall as I am now. He's a monster.
I thought he was just speaking into the void.
That's every other day.
He's talking to the other Peter in his head. One of them.
There's Destron, there's Peter, and there's Pete. We don't talk to... Hey, I heard that on the radio today.
I'm wearing my Megatron Mega shirt today.
So, speaking of Titans, do we know what the Titan will be for 2024? Are there rumors yet? Is it out?
Tidal Wave?
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about it. Are people looking forward for that? I know a lot of people are excited for it to be announced. Yeah. I didn't know if the hype had kept up.
It's going to be a massive, massive tidal wave with little parts that pop out to attach to your Armada Megatron from Gen Legacy or whatever, and it all looks great. It looks like you wanted Armada stuff to look 20 years ago. 21 years ago.
This is the first Titan, though, that I am waiting for a repaint and hope we get a repaint that I would rather have versus this color version. I like the Energon paint scheme better with the bright green and the see-through green plastic. Yeah. I just thought that's a little more dynamic. Yeah. Which is again for me at least, that's a first. I know a lot of the other Titans have had other paint schemes at different points or been different characters. But yeah, for me, this is like, this is not the tidal wave I want in terms of the Takara purple shockwave kind of colors.
I mean, there are several different colors they could do. They could do Energon, they could do US, they could do the Japanese one that they're doing or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like they've definitely shied away from repainting Titans lately.
They have. I was just about to make a joke about where's my repainted Nemesis, because we all want a bright orange art colored Nemesis, shattered glass Nemesis or some nonsense. They can put a comic in it. It's only available in this thing.
They gave us the Guardian robot recently, right?
They did, and then it didn't sell, and then they clearanced it all out.
I mean,
I was really went on clearance too, so I mean,
yes, that's true.
That's surprised. It's so good.
It's really good, but a lot of people have zero connection with it. They want Optimus Prime and Jazz and Soundwave and Starscream and Bumblebee. They don't want, what is this? I don't even know what this is from. Oh, is this the one where they were people? Is this the one where they were all people? That's dumb. I don't even like people.
Did they overproduce Black Zarek, or did they have to produce at least that many of it regardless? The question that we don't get the answers to,
Yeah.
Like, did somebody just fucking estimating it, or was it like, well, we had to do a run of 100,000 minimum. That's just how we work. And oh god, all of these did not sell.
I feel like Scorponok was hard to find. It's like almost seems like when he
got reissued.
Yeah, he did get reissued, but I still feel like it's hard to find. Harder,
Yeah, he suffered from plague syndrome, and therefore was weirdly distributed. So maybe they again, we were talking about this a little while back with the pandemic purge that's happening across the toy industry as people are getting out, and you had things that seemed like, you know, overinflated numbers in 2020, 2021, and so that might have caused Hasbro to produce more of something, think there was higher demand than there actually was.
The pandemic purge, I haven't noticed that. Is there a lot of that happening? Is a lot of that going on?
Facebook groups are pretty rife with folks who got in. Oh, I was going to be a Transformer collector, but this is expensive, and you guys are dumb, and I don't even like it. And they're selling everything, and they're asking way more than they paid for to begin with, so they're fucking up prices again.
It was an investment.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it.
Like, honestly, like, you know, people like us that, you know, we're in it the end, it's good for us because prices have went fucking nutty. Like, we've always seen them go up and up and up over time, right? But when stuff like a lot of the market like doubled in a year, you know, like that's
2020 was wild.
It's not great. You know, I would like for some of that stuff to go back to come back down a little bit, just a little bit down. So maybe that'll help that happen over time.
When Steve Skywalker was going for $400.
Oh, they will once enough of us start dying.
I didn't want to go there, but I thought
specific to Transformers, I suppose, yeah. But like, I don't think that's gonna happen for. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's gonna be more in the future than like next year.
You say in the future, man, but like I've said it in our group chats, and I've said it on other you know, whatever. Like, the next 10 years are gonna wreak havoc on our community, like our generation of the community. It's been rough, and it will continue to be rough.
Right.
It's only gonna get worse.
Yep.
We're all in our 40s now. The doom is upon us.
It's more like
except for Christian
when
and
they start
Surge.
getting in their 60s or whatever, right? Like I feel like that's more when, you know, like if you just look at historical, like the, you know, model trains or, you know, whatever, different crap like that, the original G.I. Joes and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a estate sale I was like on my way to go to, and they had advertised in the estate sale that it had toy trains, toy G.I. Joes, toy dolls, and Transformers. And I'm like, all right, you know, it seems like it's going to be a lot of stuff. I'll go. And this was like before you'd have like pictures of the estate sales online and everything before you go there. And fortunately, a friend got there before I did. I was running late, you know, thank God for me, because it was like 45 minutes away. So after I was like 10 minutes out of the house, he's like, no, turn around. Like, what do you mean? He's like, it's all like old G.I. Joe, like the, you know, the doll type style G.I. Joe. Like, oh, what about the Transformers? Like, no. Those are Transformers for model trains and electrical systems. Those aren't Transformer toys.
Whoops. It was lowercase t, Transformers.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Phil. Like, that's the stuff that I don't necessarily know next year that's gonna go out of style, but who knows?
But yeah, I'm seeing even anecdotally from folks that I know that run toy stores, they're getting inundated with people trying to sell off toys and sell collections. So if you're in the market to be buying a collection, you're gonna be buying on a bit of a dip over the next couple of years, probably.
I mean, eventually that'll hit us probably sooner than we think, you know, to Peter's point. You know, both just people getting out and people getting older, you know, for multiple reasons, right? As you know, as supply is going to start outpacing demand. I mean, I think we've talked about this a little beforehand, but like seen a bit of an explosion of what we've called like our generation's antique store, right? Which is, you know, the 80s era and associated toy shops coming up out of nowhere. You know, seeing a lot of those. We used to like, well, you had a comic shop.
And they had a toy section.
Yeah, maybe there's a little toy section off to the side, right? Now it's like, no, now there's multiple dedicated boutique toy stuff that just make collector-oriented stuff, and they sell directly to comic book stores, generally speaking, you know? And I can't speak about y'all's, but I know like the one in our area has really been struggling lately. Like, they quit buying stock because they can't. And like, I hate to tell you, but if you run a vintage toy store, if you're not buying collections, you're kind of done, right? And like I'm hoping they can turn it around, because I really like the people and I like having a shop here, but it's they're hitting hard times. I know not everyone is, they said, but some of the other that there's a community there, so that's definitely something I'm not looking forward to in 2024 is potentially losing some of my local toy shops.
Well, I mean, I feel
So
like
I hope they bounce
that
back.
the biggest thing I feel like a lot of that is just inflation in general, right? Like,
Yeah.
if like all your costs go up, like if your groceries are twice as much, you don't have an extra $100 or a couple $100 in disposable income to spend on toys or whatever, and so like that's probably what we're seeing that. So like, until things kind of catch up, you know, it may be like that for a while. So yeah, you're definitely right about that.
Well, I mean, I think you
Thanks,
had
Obama.
two events that happened back to back that caused a lot of those stores to open up, which was Toys R Us going away. So you had a demand for that kind of store pop up. And then you had the pandemic hit at the same time. So you had the pandemic surge in toy buying. So it was kind of easy to be one of those stores for a while because you had a high level of interest. And now that kind of stuff is dying away, that interest is dying off. You have a glut of sellers, a lot of folks who were not opening a shop, but just doing eBay stores online. And so, yeah, there's a lot of supply and diminishing demand. So it's going to have an impact.
And plus, part of the reason we saw that huge, increase in cost isn't, just solely that demand went up. It's a lot of people getting new into it. They don't have that, what is it, that cost anchor, in there. So there's like, oh, that looks cool. Yeah, I'll pay it. Which is, let me see if I can make a higher price on here, and it will, and
Yeah.
it's just all that feeds into it. Not only just more buyers, but like, I don't mean this necessarily in an insulting way like it sounds, but like, less educated buyers. They're just happy to spend, because we're all stuck in the house and they're like, fuck it, I'll pay whatever. I need something. So.
Yeah, like the term ignorance in this scenario is not used with the negative connotation. It's just
you don't know what you don't know, and you didn't care because it
Well,
was a
I mean, I
pandemic.
think if you want the thing or whatever, like you're gonna get the thing priced to be damned,
Yeah.
It's kind of like the
Triple Gem.
what is it, Burning Convoy that just went up on Big Bad, right? Just a couple days ago and sold out, and that was a Japanese exclusive for like $110 on Big Bad Toy Store, but like that's what you got to pay to get it. So it's sold out.
That's
like
if you don't look elsewhere, but
Wow.
And again, there's an ignorance to people not knowing where to look, or they were early on in the in the buying, and some people just don't trust eBay. Like that's another factor in this as well, is that
You can't blame them.
Feels like eBay's a scam. Yeah.
Right.
So.
I mean, I feel like as a buyer, you're very well protected on eBay, but you're gonna have to argue about it a bit, right? Like you might have to send some proof. You might have to wait, that type of stuff. I had one time where I got ripped off, and they made me file a police report. Like I had a cop came to my house, and he was just. I mean, we were both rolling our eyes at the situation. I was like, I just need this report filled out so I can send a picture to eBay so they'll give me my money back. And he's like, yeah.
Must be nice for you. Like they wouldn't even come to my house. They're like, if you want to file a police report, you better come down to the station and we'll talk to you there.
Oh, I guess I got lucky that day.
Yeah.
So I think I had to go through the same thing. So.
Cops were bored in your town, Rob. They just wanted some action.
Some action. That's action.
Yeah, that was
There's
it.
that new chicken place right down the street from his house. Let's just go over there.
We'll make it a fun trip.
Yeah.
Is anybody excited about Transformers 1?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I don't think the toys are going to be good, and I don't expect it to be like jaw-dropping storytelling, but it could be fun. So I'm curious. I'm going to be open and optimistic, and then I'll bash it later.
Well, and that movie's coming out in September? Is that right, or is it August?
I hope it's August 13th or August 8th or August something. I don't know.
Yeah, let me look it up because
I don't really trust movie release dates right now with how much stuff got pushed back due to the strikes. Now, an animated movie is a little bit different because you can still have people working on that versus
It is
still
not.
you can still treat your animators very poorly and pay them poorly and get them to get some product out. You're right.
Yeah.
Well,
They
I mean,
they
I
can
don't think
work
that's
well now.
entirely true because like Spider-Verse 3 has gotten delayed because of the strike. You know, so like it impacted stuff. Like, did it impact Transformers 1? I don't know.
Transformers 1,
I know Spider-Man did.
The current release date is September 13th, which is a horrible release date.
That's the date of TFcon 1, which is a convention that's going to be in Florida.
Well,
has that happened before?
No, it's a new one.
1?
Nope, it's a new one.
That's why it's 1. If it was the second one, it'd be Icon 2.
I don't think that's correct.
I miss you.
For the dumbest shit. That's it. Those are fighting words.
Yeah.
On the 50-yard line, mother trucker.
I hope the new Optimus comes with a football. I hope one of the releases has a football and
surfboard.
And the surfboard and the basketball. Am I drooling correctly?
Not a hammer because it's Thor who's voicing him.
No hammer. That's something else. It's Ultra Magnus or something. Some other Ultra Magnus. I don't even know. Gen 1 Optimus had a basketball.
Hammer.
Yeah, it has to be a cardboard hammer that looks like butt. Where's our second Wreckers pack, or the one with the actual Wreckers in it? Come on.
I'm surprised we haven't seen anything for Transformers 1 yet. There's been no design leaks or show offs. Like, the only thing I can think of that we've gotten is like Keegan-Michael Key doing an interview saying that his voice as Bumblebee in the movie is going to be like basically his normal voice.
His voice,
He's
which
not
is cool.
doing a character.
That was a news post. Why was that a news post? That's how desperate they are to make news about it.
What else news was there, man?
There hasn't been much of anything. That's why I don't know. Like all the leakers and all the things that were going on a year and a half, 2 years ago that were really like big news. Like, what was it? Prime versus Prime, and who's the other one where they were like arguing back and forth? I don't remember. I don't watch those. But yeah, that stuff seems to have quieted down a bit. I don't know. Again, I don't pay attention to it, so maybe there's a raging leak culture that I just don't know about. But I don't like spoilers, so.
I think between the four of us,
I don't feel like they've been getting as many leaks as early as they had been before.
So maybe whatever was going on at the factory, they fixed the glitch, you know?
Yeah, because we haven't seen new toys, but I mean that was different for Rise of the Beast, because Rise of the Beast was supposed to come out a year earlier, so the toys were sitting around for a while longer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not talking about toy leaks. I'm just talking about like any sort of, design.
Where's a poster?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying we'll see. I mean, maybe Super Bowl we'll see something in terms of some sort of teaser. I don't know. That's going to be 8 months out at that point, so it's still a ways to go. But yeah, I'm surprised we've gotten as low as we have, and it makes me think again that it's going to be pushed back. A la Reactivate.
Oh, did that game get pushed back?
Yeah, it did. But I mean, come on, like, games get pushed all the time. Like, that's pretty.
They do.
A game coming out on time would be sus. Be like, oh, that's got to be crap. It didn't even get delayed 4 times. It's going to be buggy as hell.
Did you see the post, Rob, where they actually there was some actual post from Transformers or from the studio or whatever that said there will be no further updates in 2023 about this game. Please stop asking. We'll update you sometime in 2024.
Yeah,
that shit's never coming out.
We're moving into the Unreal Engine. We're scrapping what we've done and starting over.
Yeah,
I guess my sentiment with Transformers 1 and Reactivate being similar is the complete lack of news that was coming from both for an extended period of time. I get September is still a way to go. Who knows if the world will still exist then, because
it'll still exist. You got to get past November before it stops existing.
Well, you're right. I think that is when we'll hit real critical mass. But I think there'll be some fisticuffs prior to that.
Oh yeah, it's going to be. I mean, just globally speaking, it's going to be an interesting year. It's already carrying over. Yeah, interesting stuff from the last year.
Oh, and the year before that too.
Yeah, and the year before. Oh yeah, and the one. Damn. I like robots. I've been buying lots of robots.
So what else are we looking forward to for 2024?
I might
the Transformers.
So I was gonna ask for 2024, like, is there gonna be the International Toy Show, like the New York one at all, or like, cause didn't that get delayed? Cause normally it's in February, and normally wasn't there a Tokyo Toy Show too? But then I looked that up, and apparently that's not happening until June. So, like, that's the thing. I feel like normally February that, we get some information, but I don't know if we're going to get that this year.
No, I believe the New York International Toy Fair is happening in February this year again.
Oh, okay.
I think you're looking on your phone to confirm it. So yeah, the delays and stuff they had due to COVID and all that sort of thing, I think we're finally past that, and we're kind of getting back to the schedule. In fact, there was a big hubbub that they're going to move the International Toy Fair to New Orleans, and they're like, no, we were just kidding, we're not. It's going to stay in New York. I don't think that was supposed to be until 2025, but
yeah,
I
the New
think
York
that's
one's
back
not
on
until 2025, but that's going to actually be in March.
So there's not one coming up in a month and a half.
Who knows? We'll find out when they announce Transformers 2.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe if someone in the chat knows.
Yeah.
I think Paul's in the chat. Can you tell us? Like, I feel like he should know.
Come on, know it all, Paul. Run your mouth.
Oh, I'm looking forward to TFcon again. Where did they say the East Coast show was? Was it in Maryland?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So that should be fun.
Yep. That's what is it, November 1st, I think?
Something like that.
November 1st to 3rd.
Yeah, Toy Fair is skipping 2024, Phil.
Yeah.
So
March 1st through 4th, 2025. So yeah, and that would have been another place where, all right, you have a teaser come out for Transformers 1 in the Super Bowl, and then we see some of the first toy reveals at Toy Fair in New York in February. And that schedule, at least in terms of that exact schedule, won't happen this year.
Well, I don't know. So hopefully they'll have some live streams to at least kind of replace some of that, because I would assume that, like, we haven't gotten Wave 2 announced yet, right? And so, like, you would think that
University.
Yeah, but we only got Wave 1, right?
Yeah.
Like, officially announced or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, New Year's Day was Monday. Like, as much as it feels like things are, like, if you told me like today was January 4th, I'd have to stop and be like, no, it's like the 15th already, isn't it? Like, no, it's still like 3 days removed. Like, my kid hasn't gone back to school yet, so the normal.
My kid went back to school on Wednesday.
All right.
Mine are still
but yeah,
hiding somewhere. I don't know. They'll go to school next week.
The normal flow of everything won't get back into normal till next week, and then we have got, a 6-7 week window until Chinese New Year, when things get disrupted again. So we'll see. I mean, again, with the layoffs that happened at Hasbro, that we might have a different sort of dynamic in 2024.
Taiwanese election, which means China might stop sending stuff to us at all, depending on how things go. It's gonna be a good time.
As long as Jose will still send it, I'm okay.
Yeah,
that's all I need.
We're gonna have a good time.
I'm looking
Rob just
forward.
needs his third-party stuff, so
I was gonna say, like,
Something from
I'm looking forward to
X-Transplants.
most packages I'm going to get from Show Z this year, which will be some more Transart stuff, Quick Strikes, really close, and then I think
There's a second run of Cheetor. Silverbolt's coming.
Silverbolt. Yeah, that's all I can think of that they've done, like that we've seen announced. But there may be something I've forgotten about.
Is Rampage already out, or is that? Okay. Did they tease that, or is that just like some fever dream like that?
There was another company that was teasing other Transmetal stuff, but I don't remember if I saw Rampage.
Okay.
I remember Tigerhawk, and then they just kind of died off.
Yeah, they just disappeared. I'm looking forward to Runamuck and Runabout from X Transbots. Runamuck is dropping now. Yeah. What third-party stuff? What other third-party stuff are you guys looking forward to, if anything?
X
Mostly just
Transbots Nightbeat.
I'm mostly looking forward to XTB and KFC stuff. Like, I'm hoping more of the Power Master Prime from KFC comes out. Like, I did not buy the trailer because I didn't want to buy just a trailer.
Yeah, not without the cab.
Yeah, once the cab's out, I'll buy both.
Yep.
You know, and God Bomber can come later. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want both together, and for whatever reason. So I'm looking forward to that, though. I've been looking forward to that one for a long time.
Yeah, that's valid. I'm interested in seeing that one when it's all like
done.
God Bomber excluded. Like you said, that can come separately. But the cab and the trailer for Super Jinrai.
Why did they release the trailer first?
I'm assuming because it got
beforehand.
I'm assuming because it got done first. It's probably like just the logistics of it, right? It's just like that piece got finished first. They put it into production because I think we saw test shots of the cab years ago. And so I suspect they were like, nope, we need to work on it. Meanwhile, they're working on that. And that happens a lot with these things. Like, they may start something earlier, but it just takes longer to get right. And so that something else comes out beforehand. And I think that's what happened here.
I know
and their Devastator is going to start coming out as well. I am closely watching the next round of the fucking Devastator wars, right?
It's going to be a better round than the first round. Way better round, but it's still going to be one to watch because
I like things about all of them.
Yeah, the XTB one has like the realistic vehicle modes with the cartoon accurate robot modes. The MMC one or Ocular Max one has a weak Devi, but the individuals look good so far.
Some of the individuals also look a little stumpy, I thought. Or there was something, but I can't remember. But their Devi was bad. That is,
the Devi is bad.
Was not great.
Oh, Defensor is coming.
That's right.
To finish that one up.
Yeah.
For both XTB and MMC. So far, the MMC spots that have come out have been wonderful toys.
Yeah, but they've only got the 2 out, right? Like
just 2. Yeah, Streetwise
supposed to be out.
He's coming soon.
Hotspot's next. Yep. And there's already been some people complaining. They're like, "Oh, why is he so big and chunky?" And it's kind of like, it's kind of what he is. Like, he's not as chunky in the cartoon. I'll give him that. But there's a reason his G1 toy is so dorky looking, and it's just, well, it's kind of, unless you I think you get into parts forming or a lot of collapsing panels, you know, you're going to get some of that with him.
But look at his model sheet. Look at his Transformers Universe profile. He is he's a blocky boy. There's a shot when in Return of Optimus Prime Part 1 where Swindle's at the hospital for no reason, but all the Protective Bots are standing around, and he's just like this big block of what are you doing, kitty? Yeah, he's chunky.
His model sheet looks like he literally doesn't have elbows.
Yeah.
Like he's not allowed to have them. Yeah. He's just all shoulders.
So I and when people complain about like the look of things, it's like, are you new? Is this your first day?
Do you know this property?
Yeah, nothing looks like it, like you want it to. And if you want it to look a different way, wait 6 months and a different comic or a different cartoon or a different something will come out that'll justify or recontextualize what this character is supposed to look like. So stop complaining, or complain at everything.
I've thought for a while that G1 Defensor's toy is my favorite because of the head, because it wasn't a helmet. so the head looks like I think the best and looks the most sort of proportional for it. So I don't know. I love the colors, so I'm very much looking forward to that.
He's wonderful.
Yeah. Hot Spot, Chew as a character just, has that faceplate, has that those red eyes. Like he's a menacing looking Autobot for a guy who's supposed to be like the leader of the Protective Bots.
He's a Protectobot and he committed suicide.
Oh.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Gen 2, he commits suicide.
He got better.
Wow.
No, he didn't.
He totally did. He was fine.
Why? Why did he do that?
He didn't want his body to fall into Cobra's hands, so he self-destructed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, let's remember, Marvel G1, Optimus Prime kills himself because Megatron cheats and beats him at a video game.
At a video game, he killed fictional characters, and because I allowed these fictional characters to die and they were under my protection, I better have Ethan Zachary push the button to blow my body to pieces. Yay!
This is the stupidest attempt at being heroic. It's like, no, that's...
Also, the introduction to the Protectobots.
Oh, was it?
That was their first issue, was
wow.
Life After Death, yeah.
Maybe that was supposed to be some kind of poetic thing then in G2 when that happened. Because I'm sure that was Furman.
You're giving the G2 writers
that was
way too
Furman.
much credit.
It's Furman.
But yeah,
he likes killing his robots.
Some more Masterpiece coming out this year.
Yeah, MP
Rhinox.
Rhinox, yep.
I think that's... Is there
Rhinox
any...
And the last Traimbot. I think it's Kaon is the last one.
Yeah.
It comes with the box and all the stuff.
We don't have any G1 stuff that we know about, do we? Other
not
than
that we know of.
Cliff Jumper. Right?
I can see a 40th anniversary surprise. I can see that. But also, Transformers didn't start in Japan till 85. So I can see them waiting till right at the end of the year to drop their anniversary thing. And still counted as 2024, but it's 2025, which is also when Victory took place. So I don't know. I'm just
maybe they'll do something. Maybe they won't. Maybe they will.
It's exciting though to
maybe
see
they'll
more
sell toys.
Masterpiece Beast Wars, right? Because it's been a minute.
It's been a
since
while.
Yeah.
Like, we've had some repaints, but we haven't had a new mold in a long goddamn time.
Yeah,
Right.
and this one looks wonderful. It nails both modes and yeah.
But it does the thing that I really don't like about the MP Beast Wars stuff, which is like it's too slavish to the cartoon look, and it's like he's got such fine, flick me off, Rob. That's fine.
Look, if you don't, is this your first day? Are you new to this
my
property?
first day. I'm just saying, like.
You're like, it's too animation accurate. That's my problem with these things.
That rhinoceros head just looked atrocious.
It's wonderful.
You look atrocious.
I know I do.
I'm so excited that he looks like
the
cartoon.
things I've done to my body over decades. Like that robot, like, no, you had a chance to make it better. And like that's why I like the Generations or the
go buy your Generations crap, you baby.
I have it, and I'll keep it.
Then shut up.
Punk.
That's for me. It's not for you. Okay.
You button shop bastard.
You're only saying that because I don't know who my dad is.
I remember in high school, like finding out that one of my friends was actually born out of wedlock. And I'm like, "Oh my god, you're a bastard." He's like, "What? No, I'm not." Like, "Yeah, you are, dude."
I did.
A bastard. My parents got married later on. Like, but you were born before that, i.e., you're a bastard.
And now you're doomed to go to hell. You can never get into heaven. Sorry.
No. This guy was a gymnast who could like just do a flip from a standing position. So like, that gets
That
you
makes
out
it
of
better.
automatically.
That makes it better. You're okay.
No, but you don't see. I can do a flip. Oh,
Yeah.
I might not have a dad, but I can do this flip.
Yeah.
Watch him nail it.
He
Now,
doesn't
my
have
parents
a
not
dad.
being married
Maybe
when I was born
Jesus.
motivated me to be able to do a flip.
Yep. Now they're married, and I can flip harder than you guys. So what are the repaints of Rhinox going to be? Where he becomes a Predacon and he's all silvery stuff? Is it going to be
red, like burning Rhinox?
They could do a burning. They could do like the
Does
Telemoka
get all
or
What's the one where they get all mad? Like they all like become angry. All the Maximals.
Oh,
do.
Law of the Jungle. Is that the one where they all become like animalistic?
Yeah, and they get all mad and like, "Rrr." So
Yeah.
it could be that.
But
Just,
They
you know,
can't when they can't sleep.
Tigatron, Black Arachnia, Megatron, Dinobot, none of those got repaints, correct?
yeah, so I suspect it won't actually get any.
yeah.
But
Why not spitball, guys? We could have 14 Rhinoxes in a year. You do need 3 Rhinoxes because if you're going to do a season shelf, like season 1, season 2, season 3 shelves, you're going to need 3 Rhinoxes, just like you're going to need 3 Waspinators when he happens.
what if
they paint his
find a
head
way-
silver and his body blue and give him a cannon and make him Tankor?
Whatever. I could do Sad in the Rain while talking with Primal in the Oracle Crybaby Rhinox from the end of Beast Machine season 1. We could do we could do Fox Kids Rhinox. We could do Fox Kids Rhinox. Remember that? Was it like light blue and gray repaint with red? I don't know. Red robot bits?
They could maybe do a little bit of retooling and recoloring and make Rhinox into Combiner Wars Silverbolt.
There you go.
All
There
the
you go.
way. That's what we need to start doing. We need to start making every toy into Combiner Wars Silverbolt. Specifically Combiner Wars Silverbolt, not just Silverbolt. You know, like they got to have that leg thing, or whatever. So.
But speaking of Beast Wars and Silverbolt, we are getting a Transformers University Silverbolt. We're getting a Transformers University Magmatron. I'm looking forward to both of those.
What is Transformers University? I just assumed I missed another mainline name.
No,
it's not actually University. Like
It's United.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
Legacy
I keep
United.
forgetting the actual name because these guys keep saying University, but it's United.
Wait. Oh my God! Do not United. We've already had that. We already had United.
We haven't had it in
Legacy.
the U.S. though. We had it in Japan.
We don't care. We don't.
Oh, I know. We don't.
Yeah,
care.
collectors. We don't need that distinction. That means we already got it. What's next?
Yeah.
Legacy Henkei. Legacy Kiss Players.
Yeah,
Transformers Robots in Disguise.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'll
that's
just
coming.
do Robots in Disguise again.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
They'll
United,
have
and we're getting a
20th
Voyager.
anniversary Robots in Disguise line, while a new Robots in Disguise line is coming out at the same time.
It's just going to be a Voyager. It's going to be great, and they're going to repaint it into what's his name?
I feel like they asked the
Wind Racer.
What should they come up with all these names of lines and cartoons and brands, like the sub branding? I feel like they asked like Flanders' parents. Everyone's like, we've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
While the fans are sitting there just breaking things and cussing and running around in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Magnetron, like that should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only they had released Big Convoy or when they did the reissue in Japan, like sent some over to Pulse or something, so that Magnetron would have someone to fight.
Is it weird that I thought the Magnetron toy looked cool, but I'm also like, I have the original and it's also still cool.
It's also still cool.
Like,
It doesn't have
it's toy.
It doesn't have ankle rockers though, so you better throw that thing in the dumpster.
I'm not.
Doesn't
It's
stay
not good
together
in
worth
my dumpster. I put it in a fire pit, my neighbor's
There you
fire pit, so I don't have to smell it because
There you
it's
go.
offensive to me. So
I mean, it is burning plastic. That should be offensive to your nose. That combined with like the level of heat you'd have to get it to actually like melt it. That's not just your normal backyard fire.
it's sorry. I have a teenager, and like literally 80% of what I hear around the house is "nuh-uh." So that's all I can think of anymore.
Yes, Rob. The fact that you have a teenager is why you're behaving immaturely.
That's it. So does anybody have any I don't know, like maybe predictions or wants? Like I can talk about like I am looking forward to seeing, well, what is Keith going to unveil next, right? Like he has a lot in the hopper. He has finally caught up to some stuff, like Runabout and Runamuck are coming out. Power Master Prime is starting to get done.
The punches came out.
Yep. One of the Omnibots came out. The rest of them are coming. So
And
like
all of those were part of the big
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and all of those were part of that big like 40 character dump that he did like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm working on these.
Yeah. So like we're making progress on that. So I'm curious. I mean, is he going to be so caught up with the combiners? Maybe he won't have a lot to announce, but maybe he will. Obviously, Fans Toys will have something to announce, which will be whatever X Transbots announce. They'll announce afterwards. I think I'm not sure what all they have coming out. Like I know they got that Prime or whatever, but I don't care about it. And they're like, oh, but it does Ultra Magnus armor, and it's like I just don't care.
Fans Hobby has got, I think their Tidal Wave is going to be out this year. And then
It's interesting time.
Yeah. And then they've got a Wing Saber coming out as well. I think that should be out this year. They've got their Star Saber and was the Sonic Boom Shield.
Sky Boom.
Sky Boom. There we go. Thank you. I knew Sonic Boom was right. Sky Boom Shield and Star Saber Armada Minicon combiner teams coming out. So they've got several things that should be out before the end of the year that are fun. They're finishing up the Dreadwing and Darkwind.
And someone in chat said, what about Masterpiece? Jazz or Mirage?
Darkwing and Dreadwind.
Did he say
not
not
Dreadwing and Darkwind?
Trust me, Phil's very familiar with Darkwind. Let me tell you what.
There was a character in what was it, Power Core Combiners called Darkwind or Backwind.
That's what Phil was talking about.
Darkwind would be Darkwind.
He wants more Power Core Combiners.
No, I think because they had to say something at a convention. I think it was Backwind, and they're like, "It's not Backwind, you guys. That's not funny. It's Backwind."
That's absolutely funny.
It's totally funny.
I do like Power Core Combiners.
Backwind.
I've also realized that Power Core Combiners are more fragile than I thought they were, as my 3-year-old broke 2 of them within a weekend.
Rip. Yeah, I'm curious to see what G1 Masterpiece has. Like, surely they'll announce something, but they've had times before where, like, we went, like, I don't know, like maybe 16 months without any G1 Masterpiece stuff. Like, and then they came out with 44 right afterwards, which was very polarizing, right? Mm-hmm. You either think it's amazing or you're like, it's too expensive. So
did the Toy Deco version of 44 come out?
No, not yet. That's coming out this year.
Okay.
Don't we have Hoist on the way?
Yes. Yeah. You are right. Yeah, I have it pre-ordered. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. So that's coming, but
Masterpiece Hoist?
Mm-hmm. It's from the Trailbreaker. Okay. Or a remold of their Trailbreaker. Yeah. Right. It's exactly what you think it is. So it's not that it's not cool, but it's also it's not very exciting because it's exactly what you think it is, and it was expected the second you say, "Oh, I'm doing a Trailbreaker."
Right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know if they got a Jazz or Mirage. That would be interesting. I think we have some really good third-party options and have for a while. Mm-hmm. But we've always heard that that's a licensing problem. So I guess
they got the Porsche.
I kind of think that way too.
For Rise of the Beast, so
yeah, it seems like that's at this point.
That's not Takara. That's Hasbro. So that might be a stickler there.
But it still came out in Japan.
Yeah.
I assume. So, is there any legacy stuff or HasLab stuff you people into the main line are looking forward to or hope to hear?
Well, I'm curious to see, like, are they going to do more combiners in mainline? Because we saw, we had the Minosaurus pretty good. It's a pretty good upgrade from what we got in Combiner Wars. Like, are we going to get
massive upgrade?
Are we going to get another one, like, more combiners, or because that was a pretty cool, I don't know, like, obviously Combiner Wars are really showing their age at this point. So
no, nothing will ever get better than whatever toy we just got, and at one point we had just gotten Combiner Wars, so therefore nothing will ever be better than it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's not on any of the leak lists, so I would assume that if it's coming, it's going to be a while.
One thing I'd like to see, even if it came out in Legacy and it didn't interest me, I'd just like to see it happen, is just some of the later combiners. We get so much retread of Devastator, Minosaur, sometimes some Verticus, Superion. Yeah, like getting into Defensor is even kind of a little rare, much less Computron or Veronicon and Abominus.
We know Dino King's coming.
Yeah, true.
Is it though?
We'll see.
Now that the
layoffs have
happened pretty darn heavily.
They have, but they also laid off 1,100 people last month. So we don't know. I mean, hint over the course of a year, and then everyone goes away. And
do we know if Mark got fired or laid off?
Mark is still there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like the only person I know there anymore, or know of. I don't know him, but I don't know. Like the Dino King, it's cool that they're making it, but those toys just look bad.
Yeah, they do.
So it looks so bad. I mean, I can't get excited.
Like we got Tow Line, we got RID or Car Robot, whatever universe, however they want to. It has like a 15-word name. It's like Robots in Disguise Universe Tow Line Car Robots Line Tow Wrecker Hook.
Mr. Machine wants a Scooby snack.
Yeah, and
I can't remember it, but there was that one gun I read one episode a while back. That was like the full name of the toy was like 8 words, 9 words.
Yeah,
it was just dumb.
And the toy is not great. It's just a slight retool and a redeco of one of those Junkions from last year. But it's the best version we've gotten, I guess, in at least a modern style. So even though Dino King is going to be, like you said, Terabad, the molds are hot dumpster. Maybe we'll get a better one in 6 or 7 years.
I got my son the 6 Dinobot Core Transformers for Christmas. Yeah. Well, it wasn't me. It was Santa that got it for him. But, they're pretty bad, especially the individual modes and especially the...
I thought the way you started this, you were going to be like, that was actually pretty cool.
He's really enjoying them.
He is enjoying them. He is really enjoying them. The Volcanicus Combiner mode is the best version of what all of those guys are. Like the Dino modes, they're passable. Like the legs and stuff are so disproportionate at times in order to service what you get. But it's the most proportional Volcanicus toy that we've gotten. We haven't gotten that many Volcanicuses, but yeah.
I think that's going to be a benefit to the Pretender monsters, though, because they have weird chunky proportions from their shells, and they're getting Dino alt modes or whatever. So if they do Monstructor or Dino King, whichever one they want to do, they might do both. That'd be great. I think both will benefit from the weird proportions. They're still going to be chunky and not articulated and missing all their accessories and not what I want, but they're better than nothing.
Are they though?
Got a bright side, this man.
They're very much better.
Better than nothing.
Like I don't agree with one of the guys from the Transformers group. Like listed one of the Dinobot Core dudes as one of his top Transformers of the year. And I'm like, no, it's not. Don't say that. I'm sure you worked on it and it has a sentimental place for you. I get that. That's fine. That's understandable. But
it's a Grail. Okay. Yeah. This $8 toy from Target.
I wanted Armor Scar since I was a little boy back in 1974, okay? So you just hold your horses there.
Sound like half Yoda or something.
Yeah, I was like, I think I feel like an angry Kermit the Frog. So
I was gonna mention,
it sounds like everything about that was done then for the combined mode, and everything else looks like crap because they just wanted them to shove together.
Yeah.
And even that doesn't look super great, but it is the best of the modes it can do.
It is.
Hey, if they do a box set of it as Dino King with the shells, I will buy that box set. Yeah. And I'll eat my words and be like, these are crap, but I'll just put out there. I'll do it. I'll give them my money just to, if they got the. So
let me ask you guys this. Do you think the alt modes will be the dinosaur shells or the monsters that they actually turned into?
I think they're going to be the Dinobots that they currently turn into, painted differently.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
That's my
they're going to
guess.
change. I don't think they're going to change the molds much, aside from the bot mode heads. That's just going to be the dinos. But if they do any additional changes and decide to go the Monstructor route, then they will look like a fusion of shell / monster. So I don't know.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, it's sort of like Iguanus is shell.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they'd done more Pretenders. I wish they will do more. I wish 2024 brings us more Pretenders, whether in the deluxe scale or hopefully in the deluxe scale, because those little guys, those cores are too small. But if you add $30,
like Pretenders, though.
I know
like
they
me
don't.
and you do.
Yeah,
me and you do. Like I would love Masterpiece Pretenders that actually tried to like do it the way they appeared in Master Force.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can make a shell or clip on bits to make them look like a human. Like I'm cool with any of that, with a really skinny kind of stupid robot inside, right?
That just folds in half.
Transforms. Yeah, they're all ships because we said they're all ships.
Yep.
It's
not a robot
one's a
doing.
submarine.
Yeah. He puts his legs behind his head.
They're doing YMCA poses, and every one of them is a ship. So
good to go. I would love that. And we've got, it's funny because our podcast is unique among Transformers podcasts in that we have 85% of the Pretenders fans on our podcast.
Right? We're the only ones that care.
Yeah.
The ones that know what they are.
This is true.
Like I can see them all right here, literally all of them. I have them all. Even like the stupid repaints like Black Shadow and Blue Bacchus. It's like, yeah, I bought that shit.
We did get a Metal Hawk in 2023.
Yeah.
We did.
But he doesn't have a shell.
He doesn't have a shell.
I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but like I want to go all out with it. If Rick was here, I would yell at him because
he had his chance.
He had his chance, and did he do it all the way? Nope. He didn't.
What a has-been.
Ouch.
No. That works though, because plug it, Phil.
Yeah. So for those of you who are fans of Rick and in the New England area, Rick will be opening up a new toy and comic book shop in 2024 called Has Been Toys and comics. So it'll be where his frame shop is. He's going to split his frame store into 2 storefronts and have a frame store and a comic book and collectible store. So and Has Been Toys is the name.
And good
luck
to
Rick.
So fun. It's a fantastic name. It hits on so many levels. It's great.
Yeah.
So all the best to Rick and Has Been Toys in this year and years to come, because it's good stuff.
He's looking to get inventory. So if you're in the market to get rid of some stuff, reach out to Rick, and he might be in the mood to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, no guarantees.
Yeah. I think he said he was trying to start with more like the vintage stuff, and then ease into other stuff. But that's where he kind of wants to start his market.
I bought this great Cheetor at Ross. Do you want to buy him for me for $30?
It's like, I know what I've got. Don't screw me.
Who is Talib again in our chat?
That's Ron.
I was gonna say I think that's Ron, but I wasn't sure. He asks, is he cleaning out his basement? And I would expect 0 items in that shop to have come from his house, like his collection at all.
I feel like this is just going to be a front for him to buy more toys.
Crap.
Yeah.
I've wondered that myself.
No, because I
bet his wife is wondering it.
Having worked with someone who is also a prolific collector, you sometimes, when you're a prolific collector, don't realize that you bought something multiple times, and then you have extras to sell. So there might be things coming from his own private inventory that he will be for selling.
Yep. He mentioned that once. He had purchased, it was a Beast Wars Metals Versus set or something, and he went to put it on his shelf, and he was like, "Oh shit, there's already one here." And then he moved it out of the way, and there was another one already there. He had 3 of them. And he was just like, "What the hell is this?" So yeah, maybe some of the doubles and triples and quadruples, not his sweeps, obviously, not his Viacons, his troop builders, because he loves troop builders.
Yeah,
it's impressive, his troop.
If you want to see him open 8,000 sweeps, go look at a video on our channel.
It's on the channel, yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a good year.
I left up the 45-minute one of him doing that, right?
Is that what I should put as my loop for when my video freezes? Is just me opening up a sweep over and over and over again?
No,
Yeah, I think
there's like one of the videos where he didn't like so previously like he would tell me like speed it up like I've got a video or whatever of like me opening a bunch of shit, and he didn't tell me that on that one, and so I just put it up as is, and it was like an hour of him opening like sweeps or something.
I think we put the title of that one as somehow man with confirmed biological children turns back into a virgin. I think that's what it is. Okay, we didn't name that, but we should have.
To do a DNA test just to be sure.
Yeah.
So one thing I'll be looking forward to is Skybound. Seeing them.
I was about to say, does anybody care about the comics?
Expand the universe, the Transformers universe. See where that story's going.
I feel Commander issues are dropping.
Yeah, I feel like a schlub for not reading Duke #1 yet. I've got it, had it for a couple of weeks, and just haven't gone around reading it. From folks who work in shops when they get the books a little bit early so they can put them on the shelves. They've received Transformers #4 and are just like, that's awesome.
Really?
So yeah, I
enjoyed
every issue of that.
What's that, Peter?
It's been really good so far. I'm all caught up, minus Duke.
Yeah.
Have you been reading the entire universe or just Transformers and G.I. Joe?
The entire universe.
So
Void
other
Rivals.
Transformers, G.I. Joe, Void Rivals, is that it right now?
Well, okay, so it's Duke, Cobra Commander, Void Rivals, Transformers
Okay.
for now. There's a second G.I. Joe book, but it's a continuation of Hama writing the old Marvel continuity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's separate. But yeah, anyone who isn't reading it should at least give it a spin. It's been good so far.
And it's gotten better each issue, I feel like.
Yeah.
I haven't read a Transformers book in forever.
Go ahead.
I'll probably wait till maybe the first trade comes out, and then I'll give that a whirl and see how that goes.
Okay. Yeah, Void Rivals trade should be dropping here pretty soon.
Yeah.
So even the
that's
Void
another one issue
by
6
itself
I
is
didn't get
good.
around to reading.
Yeah.
Like I have issue 1 because Orson sent it to me, and I enjoyed it for what it was, But yeah, that's where I'll keep it.
Keep reading.
They're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Keep reading. Yeah.
I mean, I like
wait for the trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, is there crossover of Transformers in the G.I. Joe books as well, or is it pretty self-contained?
Oh, in the G.I. Joe books, I don't know.
I don't know about in the G.I. Joe books, but if you read issue 3 of Transformers,
Right.
Okay,
That's what I didn't know.
I know
Like,
it's
there's
all one
Transformers
universe.
in the Joe books, like, because like that's one thing I don't know. Like in comics in general, I know that they love to do this with crossovers, but it's like I don't want to have to buy 50 books. Like I really just want to buy 1 or 2.
I don't know what the level of saturation I don't know if it's going to be like the Hasbroverse was in IDW, but I do know that for the solicitations in Duke and Cobra Commander, it talks about the formation of G.I. Joe due to the arrival of the Transformers on Earth.
Okay.
And that's in the solicitation, so that's not spoilers.
Yeah.
So.
I know that it's all supposed to be very incestuous.
Yeah.
Like I suspect, like it sounds to me like they're going to mix in just to establish that, hey, they all live in the world together,
Right.
But probably be fairly focused on what the book title says, like mix in.
Hopefully.
But I'm with you that like, I think part of this is just me getting old. Like I just gotten really annoyed with that. Like, oh, you got to buy this and then read this over here and read that over there. I'm like, just give me a story and let me read the story. Just as I don't know, I've just gotten tired of it. And that's a big turn off for me for comics, and the comics never end. I like stories that have an ending. But
from what I've read, they're going to keep this to 4 books. This universe will be 4 books coming out, so you have 1 book per month. Well, I mean, Kirkman was doing The Walking Dead.
I've read The Walking Dead, great series.
Right, but my point with that is like he could have expanded that so much as just a money grab, and he didn't. He kept it fairly self-contained, and so I think for the idea of having 1 book coming out per week is you have a reason for your buyers to go to the comic book shop every Wednesday when the new books hit, and that's kind of a sweet spot for a bit of a smaller publisher. Even when you have the bigger publishers like Marvel and DC, they'll do that with Spider-Man, or they'll do that with Batman, where it's like, all right, you get a new Batman book once a week. And so, how much the stories will, intersect and cross over, that's yet to be seen, but it's going to happen at a big scale at some point. But hopefully they'll let all these books sort of have their own identity and flesh out on their own before they mash them all together.
I mean, I think that makes sense. Like, hey, there's a book every week, so we can rotate 4. But also, like, there's a big difference between I'm writing The Walking Dead, which is just completely creator driven, and I have a big franchise with Hasbro Toy Company, and I have that license agreement, and they want to see X. Whether it's a ROM comic because they want to push ROM and Micronauts again, right? Like, I think it's a lot different, which is why I think he's writing Void Rivals. Like, that's my understanding, right? He's actually writing Void Rivals. He's not writing the others because Void Rivals doesn't exist, right? But I could see the universe growing because of Hasbro, not because of him.
Well, that's
I hope to be wrong.
A licensing issue, and
yeah.
My hope is that you don't give the license to a guy like Kirkman and try to backseat drive the thing. Again,
I hope they wouldn't.
Corporate structure. You're talking potentially new corporate partners. In terms of who he's interacting with at Hasbro, with the shifts that have happened there. So yeah, things can always change. But my sincere hope is they let Kirkman make the decisions on this sort of stuff, because that's what he's good at, man. That's what he's basically printing money doing.
Let's hope.
Yeah, Ron does mention the Void Rivals is technically a Hasbro property, so.
Yep.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like any baggage with it. He can right. But at the same point, with that, Hasbro could be like, oh, you want your characters to do what? No. You're not allowed to do that with our property. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like Robert's got a pretty fair amount of leeway with a lot of more than meets the eye. So.
And then there was a regime change, and they didn't like the fact that Megatron was an Autobot. And like get rid of that crap. And
right, but it was after like 10 years or whatever.
Well, true enough. If we can get a few years of good stories, even if corporate meddles in after that, at least we got a few years of good stories, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So another thing that we can look forward to in 2024, a new Earthspark stuff coming out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a very big bright spot in 2023 for me, for the franchise, and I hope we continue to get more toys, more stories, more episodes for those characters, because they are a lot of fun. It's a nice, refreshing breath of fresh air for the franchise. So for those folks who said they want to see something new out of Transformers, Earthspark gives you that in spades.
I really hope when they come out again that it's more widely distributed.
How many seasons does that have now? Oh, just one. Oh, what am I thinking of then that you really like for You're like season 1 or 2 is kind of meh, but then it gets really good.
Oh, that's Cyberverse.
That was Cyberverse. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't Earthspark lead into that or no?
No. Okay. They're totally separate.
Okay.
The reason I sighed when you asked how many seasons this Earthspark has is because they released it in 3 separate chunks. So I think it's like 30 episodes, but they released it like 6 months apart, 10 episodes each. So it got digested in like 3 different season formats, but they said it's all just one season.
So we are going to have some more G.I. Joe crossovers in 2024 as well.
Are any of them going to be good yet?
Toy crossover. I don't know. Yeah, you guys seem to like that Soundwave one.
I don't know who you mean by you guys. Maybe Peter and Phil did.
Phil? I don't know. Not me.
Phil definitely did.
Really liked it.
Anna really liked it, yeah. I didn't like it. It's too clean. It's a dreadnought vehicle, and it's the Thunder Machine, which is by its very nature cobbled together from scrap parts of other things. And this is the cleanest, prettiest Thunder Machine that anyone's ever seen. Soundwave would not hang out with the Dreadnoks, and if he were told or somehow coerced into hanging out with the Dreadnoks, he would disguise himself as an actual Thunder Machine looking Thunder Machine, all janked up and scraped up, not brightly painted, with no scuffs, no marks, no nothing. The toy makes no sense, but it is the best of the crossovers we've seen so far.
So maybe they're getting better. So like maybe if they get to like a 15th toy, maybe then it'll be like actually good.
But they'll cancel it at 13th toy, so
Yeah, we'll cancel it at 6.
We'll see the designs, and Alan will show off the prototype to us at some point of the 15th one that looks really good.
Yeah, like I'm hoping Anna will sell me her masterpiece Ravage if she doesn't sell it to Peter.
Oh, I don't want it. I mean, I do want it,
no.
but I don't. But you got dibs. I was just harassing her about the price because people like to play coy about prices.
Oh no, I thought you had dibs. You definitely had dibs on it first. But
message her because yeah,
Will do.
she's like, I have this thing for sale. Name the price. Don't play coy with your prices. Name the price. If you're a seller online, name the price.
Yeah.
Peter, are you saying that she should have a name your price tool?
Yeah, and I don't know all of our jargon. I don't get it.
Okay, that sounds pretty progressive to have that kind of thing.
Bundle and save.
I picked up what you were laying down, Phil. Don't worry.
I got it.
Okay.
I don't know. There's so much.
I was just like intersecting two worlds that he doesn't want to intersect. He's like, no.
It hurts. It hurts.
Don't make me do this. One pays for the other, but they don't have to meet. I will be that conduit. I bought a bunch of robots, GoBots, machine robos, you guys. Help.
What a crazy Batman toy that I very pleasantly surprised how much I'm enjoying. The Jokerized Batman.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not right.
No. It's
Batman's
like the
not the
Batman who laughs like before he got all like, leather and BDSM.
Did you get that off Bullseye Deals with the beat up box?
No, I actually got this loose from one of my local toy shops. And I was like, oh, that looks really good on your shelf back there with that bright green just like staring at you. So, yeah, it was $7. I'm happy with it.
Well, you got ripped off. The thing's worth $650.
I think he's realized that I buy stuff from him to sometimes, like turn around and sell at shows. So like, I'm like, hey, how much you selling that for? He's like, I don't know. Is it worth anything? Because I'm honest, and if it is, I usually say yes. And B, I think he knows that he's sold stuff to me, which I mean, he set a price, so I'm not like talking him down on price. But yeah, I'll stop that. Yeah, he's a good dude. He runs a good shop.
I like robots, you guys. We should talk about book club.
I'm trying to think, is there any other things you guys are looking forward to 2024? We kind of cover everything.
No movies, right?
Well,
nothing there. I mean, one, yeah.
Other than the one that we talked about earlier in the show that's coming out in September.
I just want to say,
2024.
Yeah, 2024 is going to be an interesting year on a number of levels, but it's like the 40th anniversary, guys. So I think both Takara, Tomy, and Hasbro are holding things a bit close to the vest there, and we're going to have some surprises coming down the road, and it's going to be an interesting, if not outstanding, year for the brand. But not an outstanding year for our wallets. So just be ready, buckle up, and welcome what's coming.
I do have another quick prediction. More Generation Selects toys.
More than the one we got last year?
Well, back to more what it was a few years ago. I think the capsule lines that we saw from Walmart and Amazon didn't fare as well as they hoped, and so we'll probably get back to those toys selling more in Gen Select kind of stuff.
Hopefully.
So book club this week is going to be Oh, is it? They're back to actually reading comics, right? I think that they're doing.
Yes.
They don't know how to read.
Galaxies 1 and 2, I guess. I don't know. It's
They're looking at
8:30.
the
Why
pretty
they're doing the comics? They just look at the pictures.
They look at the pictures, and Anna uses her brain to make the words in their head. Anna used the reading part.
I mean, isn't that what all reading is? Is technically looking at pictures.
To use the words, you're grounded.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, so that's Sunday night, the 7th at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, on the TF Talk Discord. So
We have a Discord?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
yeah. Turns out, yeah, I think we've had it for a couple years there.
Cool. Maybe I'll log in. I'm gonna log in now. Every time I'm reminded that we have it, I log in and say like, "Is this thing?" And they say, "Yeah, welcome," and then I sign out.
Right. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We had quite a few different people participating. So yeah, I guess that's it, and we'll see everybody next week.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.